Today we're going to run through my top 5 favourite vintage Kenner Star Wars figures. Hello, it's Dave at Vintage Toy Rush. Now this video is inspired by the videos of Reynolds Reviews and Marc Shabbygeek, where they have both gone through their top 5 vintage Star Wars figures. They each had their own little helper, but today I'm going to be flying, that's right, solo. I'm in front of my Star Wars display cabinet here with all the figures, so I'm just going to pull them out one by one and let's see what we end up with. I'm just looking at all the figures in here. There are so many. You've got your classics like Boba Fett and your Stormtroopers. So what I think I'm going to do before the top 5 is pick out some honourable mentions. Figures that I really like but haven't quite made the cut. And the first honourable mention is 21B, the medical droid. What a fantastic figure this is. I just love the colour scheme on here with the grey arms against the bluish body. Of course he has that transparent middle as well. Looks really cool. Of course, you know, he's a medical droid, so he's there to help people. He fixed Luke twice, I think, in the films. So yeah, definitely worth an honourable mention. Let's see, who have we got next? This might surprise a few people, but my second honourable mention is Logray, the Ewok. I just love this figure. He's the medicine man. This is definitely my favourite Ewok. He has the voodoo vibes. He reminds me of the James Bond film Live and Let's Die. You can see his headdress there is amazing, the satchel and the staff as well. He may be an Ewok, but he's a very cool looking Ewok. And then my final honourable mention isn't actually my choice. This is Camilla's choice. It's Bib Fortuna, and I can see why she likes this figure. He's not the most good looking of chaps, but I do love the fact that he's got these kind of tentacle things coming out of his head that wrap around his cloth cape, and he has his staff. So yeah, honourable mention number 3, Bib Fortuna. Okay, let's get into the top 5. So at number 5 we have Squid Head, of course. What an amazing figure this is. And there's several reasons why I love this figure. The first is the head sculpt. You just got to look at the detail, the tentacles, his eyes, and the detail goes all the way around the back as well. Extra large hands, 2 fingers and a thumb, amazing. But not just that, his outfit as well. He's got this inner robe with his belt and then the cloth cape that goes on top of it as well. Definitely worthy of the top 5. And at number 4 we have Leia in her combat outfit. This is an amazing figure. I just love the fact that she's got the removable helmet. Obviously she has her cloth combat poncho, a belt, and her blaster as well. And what an iconic scene as well in Return of the Jedi, where she jumps onto the speeder bike flying through the Endor forest. Amazing. So at number 4, Leia in her combat poncho. Now we're getting on to the podium places, the top 3. So who's in at number 3? It's my good buddy C-3PO. How can you not like this figure? I mean, he's gold. And he's not just painted gold, he's actually a shiny metallic gold. He may not be the best sculpt, but he's definitely good enough for me. He's there right from the beginning to the end in the films with his buddy R2. Yeah, he may complain a lot, but you know, that doesn't matter, because he's gold. How many other figures do you know that are gold? And for that, he's definitely worthy of position number 3. Okay, we're getting closer to the number 1 spot. So, who's in at number 2? He may be small, but he's mighty. Of course, it's Yoda. He may be small, but that doesn't matter. I mean, look at him. He's loaded with accessories. He's got his snake, his cane, his belt, and of course his cloth robes. and it's a really good likeness to Yoda in the films. Everyone loves Yoda. I mean, he's a Jedi Master, he can kick ass, and he has a strange way of phrasing his sentences, so what is there not to like? So with that, number 2, I place. And finally, we've got to the number 1 spot. But before I reveal who they are, I think it's worth highlighting which figure I dislike the most. General Medine. Yes, Mr. Grey himself. Has a Noel Edmonds vibe as well, but what a terrible figure. Even his weapon or accessory is just a white stick, and I don't think he even appeared in the films, so this is definitely worthy of my most disliked vintage Kenner Star Wars figure. Now it's time to reveal my number 1 vintage Kenner Star Wars figure. Let's see who it is. Now this may surprise some of you, but it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. What a figure. Now, the actual figure itself isn't necessarily the most exciting or dynamic, but it doesn't matter because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of my favourite characters in the original Star Wars film. It was the mystery behind the character. Who was he? And of course, it was played by Alec Guinness. What a casting that was. Perfect actor for this character. I do wish he had the hood. That would have really made this figure. But he makes up for it by having, of course, his blue lightsaber. Fantastic. So for me, this is the number 1 vintage Kenner Star Wars figure. And there we have my favourite Kenner vintage Star Wars figures. Some of them you may agree with, some of them you may disagree with, but that doesn't matter. We all have our own favourites. If you enjoy these videos, then please subscribe, comment and like. The support is always appreciated, and I always try and respond to any comments that are made on the channel. So, until next time, all I have left to say is stay safe and cheers.
Remember,